attempted to process the data before him. The captive human specialist Emma Rodriguez of the Earth Expeditionary Force sat calmly on the examination table, seemingly unperturbed by the battery of tests she had just endured. "Is there a problem, Doctor?" she asked, the corner of her mouth quirking upward in what the OB biologist had learned was a smirk, a Terran expression denoting amusement, often at another's expense. "These readings cannot possibly be correct," Teresh muttered, his translucent fingers tapping rapidly across the holo interface. "Your cellular regeneration rate alone defies all biological principles established across 17 known sentient species." "Oh." Rodriguez stretched casually, as if they were discussing the weather and not her impossible physiology. "And here I thought I healed rather slowly compared to some of your Galactic Alliance troops." Tesh's secondary respiratory bladder inflated indignantly. "That is precisely the problem. By all accounts, you should not be healing at all. Your species deliberately ingests poisons for pleasure, breathes corrosive gases, and bathes in radiation daily." He gestured wildly at the holographic display showing a microscopic view of human blood cells. "Your blood contains iron, a metal that oxidizes. You are literally rusting from the inside out, yet somehow functioning." Rodriguez shrugged. "We call it being tough as nails. Iron-based blood has worked for us for quite some time. And this," Teresh continued, pulling up another scan. "Your skeleton is constantly breaking down and rebuilding itself. Your entire body is in a perpetual state of controlled self-destruction and regeneration. It's madness." "Homeostasis," Rodriguez corrected, examining her fingernails with feigned disinterest. "Basic human biology." Tesh's chromator flashed a distressed purple as he pulled up another readout. "Your brain chemistry is equally absurd. You produce endorphins, actual pleasure chemicals, in response to pain stimuli. When injured, your species experiences both agony and euphoria simultaneously." "Helps us push through," Rodriguez said simply. "Adrenaline's a hell of a drug." "Speaking of which," Teresh continued, now fully immersed in his scientific outrage, "your species willingly consumes neurotoxins for recreation. Alcohol, caffeine, and caffeine. They all should kill you, yet you seek them out." Rodriguez laughed. "Ever seen humans compete to eat the spiciest food possible? We don't just tolerate poison. We turn it into sport." Tesh's tendrils drooped in defeat. "I have been studying your captured soldiers for 3 cycles now, and I still cannot comprehend how your species survived evolution, let alone achieved spaceflight. You sleep, entering a vulnerable state of unconsciousness for a third of your lives. Your females hemorrhage cyclically without dying. Your young emerge completely helpless and remain so for years." Rodriguez slid off the examination table, stretching her limbs with a series of audible pops that made Teresh wince. "Maybe that's why we're winning this war, Doc. We're used to functioning while broken. Pain, poison, radiation. They're old friends." She approached the force field, separating them with measured steps. "You know what's really wrong with human biology, Doctor? We adapt, not over generations, like proper evolutionary theory suggests, but within our lifetimes. Break our bones, they grow back stronger. Expose us to toxins, we develop tolerances. Try to drown us, our lung capacity increases." Teresh involuntarily retreated a step as the human's face broke into what his cultural database identified as a predatory grin. "The High Command thought capturing human subjects would reveal our weaknesses," Rodriguez continued. "Instead, you're discovering why the Galactic Alliance is losing. We're not advanced. We're not sophisticated. We're just really, really hard to kill." An alarm blared suddenly through the research facility. Teresh's communication implant buzzed with emergency protocols. "Sounds like my extraction team has arrived," Rodriguez commented casually. "Fair warning, Doc. They've probably been shot, burned, and exposed to vacuum on their way here, and they're likely in a really bad mood because of it." As the facility shook with distant explosions, Teresh realized with dawning horror that what was wrong with human biology wasn't a weakness at all. It was a weapon.